It's the most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? The twinkling lights, the family gatherings, and the joy that fills the air. But have you ever wondered why we celebrate Christmas the way we do? Or why so many of its traditions existed long before the holiday itself? Christmas is a holiday beloved by billions across the globe, filled with traditions, warmth, and spirit. Yet behind all the excitement lies a rich and fascinating history that's often overlooked. We're taking a journey through time, exploring how Christmas evolved from ancient celebrations into the global holiday we know today. From its earliest roots to iconic traditions and modern customs, this is the story of how Christmas became what it is. Christmas, as we know it, has deep roots in history that extend far beyond the birth of Jesus Christ. Long before Christmas became a Christian holiday, people across the ancient world were already celebrating the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. In ancient times, many cultures marked this turning point in the calendar, when darkness reached its peak and the light slowly began to return. For the Romans, this took the form of Saturnalia, a festival honoring Saturn, the god of agriculture. Saturnalia was filled with feasting and gift-giving, along with a temporary reversal of roles, as people from different social classes dined together. It was a time of joy, generosity, and loosened rules, ideas that feel surprisingly familiar today. Some historians believe this brief, world-turned upside-down feeling is part of why Christmas still carries a sense of generosity, joy, and suspended normal routines. In Northern Europe, the Norse celebrated Yule, a midwinter festival centered on fire, feasts, and hope for the sun's return. Large logs were burned to symbolize warmth and light, offering hope during the long winter nights. Many of the visual elements we now associate with Christmas, candles, greenery, and warmth against the cold, can be traced back to these traditions. Christmas as a Christian holiday began to take shape several centuries after the life of Jesus. Although the exact date of Christ's birth remains unknown, December 25th eventually became the chosen day to celebrate it. This date overlapped with the Roman festival of Sol Invictus, or the Unconquered Sun, which celebrated the symbolic rebirth of the sun after the solstice. Many historians believe this alignment helped early Christians present the celebration of Christ's birth in a way that felt familiar within Roman culture. The story of the Christmas tree reaches back through layers of symbolism as well. Long before Christianity, ancient cultures used evergreens to represent life and renewal during the darkest months of the year. The decorated Christmas tree itself, however, emerged much later, developing as a specifically Christian tradition in German-speaking regions, where families eventually began bringing fir trees indoors and decorating them with candles, fruit, and small ornaments. In the early centuries of Christianity, Christmas did not resemble the large, festive holiday we know today. For many Christian communities, it was a relatively quiet and solemn observance, focused on prayer, worship, and reflection rather than public celebration. Other feasts, such as Epiphany, were often considered equally important, and in some regions, Christmas played a more modest role in the religious calendar. Periods of preparation and fasting before Christmas developed over time, laying the groundwork for what later became known as Advent. By the Middle Ages, Christmas had grown into a major celebration across much of Europe. The Feast of the Nativity was marked with church services, including midnight mass, alongside local customs, such as communal meals and seasonal performances. In Italy, nativity scenes became a popular way to visually tell the story of Jesus' birth, especially after being promoted by figures like Saint Francis of Assisi. In German-speaking lands, winter greenery and decorated trees became increasingly associated with Christmas. These traditions helped reinforce the connection between light, faith, and celebration during the darkest time of the year. The Victorian era marked a turning point that shaped many of the Christmas traditions we recognize today. In 19th century Britain, Queen Victoria and her German-born husband, Prince Albert, played a highly visible role in popularizing Christmas customs. Prince Albert introduced the Christmas tree to the British royal household, a tradition from his German upbringing. When images of the royal family gathered around a decorated tree appeared in the 1840s, the custom quickly caught on with the public and spread throughout Britain and beyond. The Victorian era also gave rise to Christmas cards. In 1843, artist John Calcott Horsley created one of the first commercial Christmas cards, helping establish the tradition of sending holiday greetings to friends and family. These cards often featured scenes of domestic warmth, charity, and togetherness. Gift-giving also became more formalized during this period. While generosity had long been part of Christmas, the Victorian focus on family life, especially children, helped solidify the exchange of presents as a central feature of the holiday. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Christmas was evolving into a blend of religious observance, family tradition, and commercial celebration. At the center of this transformation was Santa Claus. Santa's roots lie in St. Nicholas, a 4th century bishop known for his generosity, as well as the Dutch figure Sinterklaas. Over time, poems, illustrations, and popular culture, especially in North America, shaped Santa into the jolly, bearded figure who delivers gifts on Christmas Eve. While no single company invented Santa, some of the most influential images came from Coca-Cola advertisements in the 1930s. Artist Haddon Sundblom depicted Santa as warm, friendly, and dressed in red and white, helping cement the image that remains familiar today. At the same time, department stores transformed Christmas into a major retail season. Elaborate window displays, in-store Santas, and seasonal promotions became part of the holiday experience. In the United States, the day after Thanksgiving, now known as Black Friday, emerged as the unofficial start of the Christmas shopping season. As Christmas spread across the globe, it blended with local cultures and traditions. In Mexico, the celebration of Las Posadas begins on December 16th and runs through Christmas Eve. The tradition reenacts Mary and Joseph's search for shelter, with groups traveling from house to house before being welcomed in with food, music, and celebration. In Germany, Christmas markets, known as Weihnachtsmärkte, trace their origins to late medieval winter markets. Today, they are filled with lights, mulled wine, and handcrafted goods, drawing visitors from around the world. In Japan, Christmas is celebrated mainly as a cultural event rather than a religious one. The holiday is often associated with city illuminations, romantic outings, and special meals, including the now famous tradition of eating fried chicken on Christmas, which became popular through advertising in the 1970s. In Australia, where Christmas falls during summer, celebrations often include beach barbecues, outdoor gatherings, and warm weather activities, blending traditional symbols with a distinctly sunny setting. Today, Christmas is celebrated by billions of people around the world, including many who do not observe it as a religious holiday. For some, it remains centered on faith and the birth of Jesus. For others, it is a time for family, generosity, and shared traditions. Modern Christmas also brings reflection on commercialization and consumerism. Amid the shopping and advertising, many people seek to reconnect with values like gratitude, kindness, and togetherness. Whether celebrated in churches, homes, markets, or city streets, Christmas continues to represent light, hope, and connection during the darkest time of the year. From ancient fires in the darkness to lights shared around the world, the journey continues. You're always welcome here. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, it's Illumentary, my dear viewer.